Byakuya Togami was killed. The blue hue of our vacation is now a crimson red. Is the killer really one of us? Or is it someone else? The class trial starts now. Greetings everybody, Okami Games Online. Welcome back to more Danganronpa 2. Last time, we finished investigating Byakuya's murder, and were brought to the class trial. And in this episode, we're gonna get started. So first, let's see what we can do. Menacing focus, so go ahead and equip that. Tranquility will also equip. If you don't remember how we got these skills, these are the skills we got from raising an Usami and a Monokuma. Your skill points are equal to your level. So we're level 67, so we've got 67 skill points. E-handbook. The main reason you want to go here is, for one, we can actually take advantage of this tab. You can buy rewards from Usami. Is there any that I would particularly recommend, though? Fine sword. For something later, I would recommend. Is there anything else? Again, for later, clock up, I would recommend. I think that's most of the things. What does Melodious Voice do? That could be good. If I don't see anything better, you know what? Yeah, we're gonna go with that. So that's all our hope fragments spent. You can spend them how you want, but those are my personal choices for the time being. You can also review your truth bullets if you need to try to figure something out. So let's go ahead and don't open the e-handbook again. Set skills. Just bought 3 skills, so let's equip all 3 of them. There's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. Alright, we've got our skills ready, we've got our bullets ready. Difficulty is on mean. It's gonna stay like that throughout the entire game. And like with Danganronpa 1, when I did that way back when, you're not gonna be hearing me do an outro. I'm just gonna be doing this all in one sitting, and I'll just have to edit it later. But, with all that out of the way, it is time for the class trial for Byakuya Togami, the ultimate affluent progeny.
Now then, let's begin with a simple explanation of the class trial. During the class trial, you will present your arguments for who the killer is and vote for who done it. If you vote correctly, then only the blackened will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong person, I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and that person will earn the right to leave this island.
Such a cruel rule.
And yet a very familiar rule.
Before we begin, I'd like to confirm one thing. Is there really a killer among us?
Most definitely. There's no doubt that the blackened is lurking among you. Such a sad state of affairs, isn't it? By the way, this class trial is gonna be 100% fair, so there's no need to worry. I'm the type who hates favoritism and prejudice. Well, not as much as I hate Monami, of course.
You hate me that much?
Now, let's begin!
You're telling us to begin, but what are we supposed to do?
No complaining, let's just settle this with our fists.
This isn't that kind of game.
Were you even listening to the rules? Didn't that Byakuya bastard get killed in the dining hall, huh? Then everyone there is a fucking suspect.
Yeah, what you're really trying to say is that you're not the killer, right?
No shit. You guys went off on your own and started killing each other. This has nothing to do with me.
Huh? What does that mean?
Anyway, why don't we try talking about the most pressing issue on our minds?
Huh. The most pressing issue on our minds?
where we found the body. It's very strange to find a body underneath a table.
Then, let's start with that mystery.
The reason why Byakuya's body was discovered under the dining hall table. We can start with that, but ultimately, we need to find out who murdered him. If we can't do that... No. Thinking about if is a waste of time. We have to do this. No matter what. So the class trial has finally started. From this point on, I will provide simple tutorials at every important moment. Tutorials I won't actually skip over this time. I'm sorry, but please excuse my irritating rudeness. As things progress during each class trial, you will engage in a number of non-stop debates. During these discussions, all of your classmates will speak one after the other without any breaks. It's up to you to reveal any lies or mistakes contained within their statements. This means you all have to use your truth bullets to refute what they say. Out of all the truth bullets you find during your investigation, only the relevant ones will be loaded into the truth cylinder. Use the left stick to move the reticle, then fire with the triangle button. You can also fire by tapping the statement directly. That is, if you were playing on something that had touch controls. Pay close attention to each character's statements, and choose your truth bullets to blast the right ones. Note that if you run out of time, you will automatically fail, so please be careful. Press the start button during these arguments, you can review the controls. Well then, good luck, and have fun.
Why was Byakuya's body in a place like that?
His body was underneath the table at the very back of the dining hall.
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there.
Huh? Why? Obviously by hiding the body. They tried to delay its discovery! Like a dog burying a bone!
Huh? What you just said was strange. It clearly contradicts the information I know.
Why was Byakuya's body
In a place like that.
His body was underneath the very back of the duck.
After the killer murdered Byakuya, they probably moved the body there.
No, that's wrong!
As we can see by the blood stain, Byakuya clearly wasn't moved.
No, I don't think the killer moved the body.
Huh? Why?
Try to remember what the body looked like when we found it under the table. Though there was a lot of blood everywhere, there was no sign the killer actually dragged the body through it.
So that's why you think it's impossible that the killer moved the body. I see. I get your point.
Oh, and here I thought I had a genius idea.
Too bad you're so stupid and boring and unpopular. Your life is meaningless.
I respond better to praise, you know.
But if the killer didn't move the body, why was it under the table?
Byakuya was probably killed under the table.
What? You think he was killed under the table?
So Byakuya snuck under the table for reasons unknown, and that's when he was killed.
I wouldn't say for reasons unknown. I have an idea of why he might have gone under there.
Then, shortly thereafter, we found his body under the table.
That does make sense, but why did he go under the table?
Obviously, he was hiding so he could surprise us. That dude was always a big jokester.
Uh-huh. Did you not... Are you actually serious about that statement?
The hell he was? You seriously couldn't tell what kind of person he was?
She probably was.
Maybe he panicked during the blackout and dove under the table.
It's a blackout, not an earthquake. Just because the power went out doesn't mean he'd dive under the table.
The reason why is probably connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, don't you think?
reason Byakuya dove under the table. If it's connected to what Byakuya was doing during the party, then it's probably... Well, he was trying to collect any and all dangerous objects, and we did find a knife under the table.
I can prove it with this. It probably has something to do with the knife we found under the table.
Knife? Oh, you mean that thing that obviously screams, "I am the murder weapon!"
Byakuya probably noticed the knife was hidden there. So in order to get it, he moved under the table.
He was particularly sensitive to the presence of dangerous items, so I cannot deny that possibility. But how did he notice that there was a knife under the table?
If he knew beforehand, he probably would have done something about it before the blackout, right?
Then, instead of knowing about it beforehand, maybe he saw it right at that moment. Like, for example, he might have seen someone trying to take the knife out from under the table.
No, that's not possible.
You seem rather confident about that.
Of course. I have proof to back me up.
This is almost like a real trial!
During the previous statement, there was only one weak spot. But from this point on, there will be various weak spots standing in your way. No matter how many weak spots there will be only one lie or contradiction in the debate at a time. This means there will be false weak spots. If you shoot a false weak spot with a truth bullet, not only will you fail to refute what was said, but you'll also lower your trust with everyone and your influence gauge will take damage. If you're not familiar with the influence gauge, it is basically your health. If your influence gauge reaches 0, you will fail. So please be extra careful. You'll have to rely on your own logic to determine which weak spots are actually lies or mistakes. Also, if you concentrate by holding down the R button, you can progress the argument slowly. You will not see me using that, at least in the first trial. Please use it whenever you feel like statements are moving too fast for you to aim. However, this does consume the focus gauge, so please be careful. And it doesn't say, but the focus gauge recovers over time. If you press the start button, you can review controls. Well then, good luck, and have fun.
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table during the blackout.
That sounds correct. If that's the case... During the blackout, Mr. Ham Hands must have seen the killer take the knife.
But it was super pitch black! It was so dark I couldn't see my food! Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either. I doubt he could have seen the killer.
It's true, getting under that table during the blackout would have been nearly impossible, but...
I'm sure Byakuya ducked under the table
during the blackout. That sounds correct. If that's the case, during the blackout, Miss must have seen the killer, but it was super pitch. It was so dark I couldn't see my foot.
Byakuya couldn't see in the dark either.
No, that's wrong!
Byakuya was the only one who could see in the dark because he had night vision goggles.
No, Byakuya was probably the only one who was able to see in the dark.
Why do you say that?
He was using those night vision goggles we found under the table. He could have seen what was happening.
So, are you saying Byakuya was the one who used those night vision goggles?
Yeah, that seems to be the case.
Your reasoning is out of focus.
Hello?
No, that's obviously wrong. It should be the other way around.
The other way around?
Seriously? The killer used those night vision goggles, not Byakuya.
Welcome to the first brand new minigame in Danganronpa 2. Were you surprised by Mahiru's sudden argument? Just between you and me, I was also surprised. Just kidding. I'm sorry. Now then, When this kind of argument surfaces, you will go into a one-on-one debate called Rebuttal Showdown. In this mode, you have to counter the other person's claim, draw out their weak spots, and argue against them. Please counter the other person's remarks with the directional buttons or by swiping the screen. Based on the shape of their remarks, it's important to know whether to cut vertically, sideways, or diagonally. And based on that, you can skew the debate's mood to your advantage. On the other hand, if you ignore the other person's remarks, it will skew toward their advantage. The bottom right-hand corner of your screen, a number that shows the sharpness of your counter is displayed. This is the number of times you can cut remarks during one round of the debate. You'll lose counts of sharpness even if you miss, so please be very careful. When the mood skews to your advantage for a certain length of time, the other party's argument changes. This means the conversation will develop. If that happens, they will end up divulging some weak spots. However, you cannot normally cut remarks that contain weak spots. Instead, it will skew the mood toward the other party's advantage. Plus, it's going to be very big. Just like a regular debate, please refute any weak spots with the triangle button. When you're using the touchscreen, please argue by swiping with 2 fingers. Of course, if you don't have the correct truth blade, you will not be able to cut an opponent's remark. Huh? What's a truth blade? I am terribly sorry. It appears there has been a delay in contacting you. I will make sure the person in charge of contacting you takes a very long vacation. In this mode, truth bullets will be called truth blades. That's about it. There won't be any changes to your handbook menu. Only the name was changed, but don't you think a change in feeling is important? Press the start button. During these arguments, you can review the controls. Good luck, and have fun. And enjoy this really awesome song.
If you just use common sense, the killer obviously used those night vision goggles. That's gotta be it.
Where's your proof that the killer used them?
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in the dark. I mean, in reality, that's what happened. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Found a hole in your argument. I'm sure Byakuya brought the night vision goggles. I need to refute Mahiru's claim with evidence.
Because if they used night vision goggles, then they could have killed Byakuya even in reality. So those goggles were planned and the killer brought them to the crime scene.
Allow me to cut through those words.
Byakuya brought the Duraludon case that they were in.
No, Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles.
Definitely? But why?
Inside the Duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party, we found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that Duralumin case as well. Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case, since he was carrying it around before the blackout in the first place.
I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Then, was that knife inside the case too? If there were night vision goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird for a knife to be in there too.
It would be weird.
I am weird, aren't I? At times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight's main dish.
I'm gonna stop you right there, Teru Teru.
Ooh, you totally mean that in a perverted way.
The knife was brought in the Duraludon case along with the night vision goggles too? Oh, that's not possible. The knife was hidden in the dining hall before the party even started, and we can prove that with tonight's main dish. No, we can prove that with the duct tape.
I see! There was duct tape left under the table where the body was found. Huh? Duct tape? They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we found duct tape there.
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, But why was Byakuya acting so paranoid? Not only did he bring a self-defense kit, but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
That's true. He went above and beyond being a little cautious.
Now that you mention it, that applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well. It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
He probably knew someone was planning to commit a murder.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
Not quite.
You think so too, right, Hajime?
Yep. That's right. Byakuya probably knew there was a possibility that a murder would occur, because someone unknown sent him a murder threat.
I can prove it with this! Everyone, can you please take a look at this?
Be careful. First kill will happen tonight. Someone will definitely kill someone.
Hey, the hell is this?
Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage. It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him.
So, who's the someone?
Likely the killer.
Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
Well, Monokuma?
Wasn't me!
Are you sure?
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those are still lies!
Doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He probably decided to throw a party because of the letter. What do you mean? By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act. But the letter might have been just a little prank. As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
He should have told us he received a threatening letter.
If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
So, he tried to do something about it without telling anyone?
I see. A strong sense of responsibility as our leader was his undoing.
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
Killer. Is it really one of us? Who is it? Among us, who's the one who killed Byakuya?
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed a murder in the first place.
But I still can't believe it. Someone in this room killed Byakuya. There's no way I can believe that yet.
Danganronpa.